I used to.
Going live,
Okay,
so
that
it
works.
says.
You're live, all right.
I'll use it later. Okay, you can use me all you want. Do you need to ask me to explain it to you? I just like to try.
Oh, that's okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, I was in the parking lot and.
Okay. Welcome, and we'll call the meeting to order at 4:06. We'll start by going around the table and saying who we are. Andy, you can start.
Oh, do you want me to?
Sure.
Hi, Andy. I'm at-large and sustainability.
Hi, I'm Vicki Platt. I am the treasurer.
Kelly Hunt Vanderleet, president.
Michael Phelps, secretary.
Joseph Gonzalez, vice president.
All right, thanks for coming, everybody. So we're gonna start with the president briefing, and it's kind of long because we've had all summer. Did everybody get we do have agendas printed. They're sitting up here if you wanna follow along, but it's also on the website, on the PAC website. Yeah, go ahead and grab one. So I'm just gonna kind of talk about what we did since our last meeting, just to keep you updated. So we had our 5K. That was successful. We profited a little over $2,000 with that one. We purchased 2 sets of Chromebooks. That cost about $18,000. And speaking of, this is that canceled check, so you can rip it up or whatever.
Okay.
We worked registration, meaning that we set up a table there with, Andy was there with sustainability. We got lots of volunteer signups. We met a lot of people, and we sold a lot of shirts. We had a work day where some families came and did some planting and some things around the school. We had volunteers paint our bathrooms, which look amazing. Katina, I think, took that up. That was great. We bought and installed those lockers that you see over there for the aides. We had our water park event, which was a beautiful night. And because some of the rides were closed, we got a discount, so we made more money than ever. Around $3,200, which was not expected and nice. We distributed the supply kits for the school supplies. We sold a record-breaking amount, 193 kits. We were at Meet and Greet, where we also sold shirts and did signups and distributed a lot of uniforms. Some of them which are still on back order, as we all know. We provided a staff luncheon for the staff on 8/11. We got Wagner's ribs for them, and it was about 55 people. We had a call-out meeting with coffee last Friday with a lot of attendance, which was really nice. And then we had our first give back at Gilbert's over the weekend. So it's kind of some main things we were doing over the summer. So now we'll go on to the secretary's report of some things we voted on and whatnot.
Yep, so over the summer, we obviously, over the 3 months, had quite a number of things. We voted on Chromebooks, like Kelly had mentioned. A set of 60 for $9K each was proposed on May 22nd, and Heather DeNormandy, who was the vice president at the time, seconded. Myself and Vicki voted yes, and Kelly approved. The lockers are roughly $1,000 for the teachers' aides. Kelly proposed it on July 6th. Vicki seconded, all others voted yes, and Kelly approved. The plants that you see out in front, Kelly had mentioned the work day that we did right before school started. Andy proposed on July 31st, roughly $300 for weeding and planting supplies. Kelly seconded, Vicki and Joe voted yes, and Kelly approved. And Dow Roundup to $35,000 donation for the barn. We raised $32,000, so on July 28th, Kelly proposed that we round it up to $35,000 donation to the school for the barn work. Andy seconded. Myself, Vicki, and Heather voted yes, and Kelly approved. And then we also voted on a fridge for Mrs. Westfall. It was proposed by Kelly on August 10th. Joe seconded. Myself and Vicki voted yes, and Kelly approved and had Jennifer Howell order that. So that's the motions and voting to meetings. As secretary, I also updated our registered agent and officers with the Secretary of State for Indiana. So that's up to date as of today for the year. And then the items that we need to be voted on are new motions. We had an email from a parent for popcorn money to be reimbursed for the supplies that are left over from the 8th grade fundraising.
Yeah, I think it's around $60, so I think that we should cover that for the ticket to get them started.
I second that.
Okay. Any opposed? All right, I motion to approve that.
Yep.
And then the second thing, do you want me to talk about that or?
You can,
So, we have a lot, in our script account, in our raise right, because we gotta use saying that now, it's got a new name. There's about $30,000 in there, which is too much, and so we could just move it into our bank account, but we were thinking that we could safely take 15,000 of that and donate it toward the Learning Barn Pavilion. The Learning Barn Pavilion, I think their fundraising goal right now, they're saying is $50,000 more for what we need. So we'd really like to see this get done, and I think to help, we know we can do that, and then we're gonna concentrate all of us efforts toward that too, to move things along. So I'd like to propose that we, give another $15,000 towards that, from the script account. Yeah,
Is there any plan to fix the zip line on the ground?
I don't know about that, I
Yes,
can
the
require,
order.
they're on order.
Okay, good, that's what I was gonna suggest might be important.
I didn't know, has it been broken this whole time,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
well, we'll get that fixed.
No, but either.
So, yeah, I motion for that, does anybody, a
Second.
second? Anyone opposed? Okay. So we do-
motion.
Okay, anything else for secretary?
Nope.
Okay. And then Vicki, you have a lot probably because it's all summer.
Yeah, so, I'll go through, each month. Hold on. No, stop real quick. Okay, all right, June. Our beginning balance in the PAC checking account on June 1st was $83,799.19. We had deposits of $5,177.74. We have checks that we wrote out, $1,241.54, and we had debits of $25.99. Our ending balance was $87,709.40. I'll go ahead and give you this
Yes,
after
yeah.
I'm done, because I know I talk too fast and you're not able to figure it out. Okay, so, oh, that was June. I'm sorry, I skipped May. May, our beginning balance was $68,511.63. We had deposits of $30,211.18, checks of $89,64.88, debit card transactions of $59,58.74, and an ending balance on May 31st of $83,799.19. It's a little out of order, sorry. Okay, so for July, the beginning balance of July was $87,709.40. We had deposits of $9,967, debit card purchases of $2,238.67, and checks of $6,067. So we had an ending balance on July 31st of $89,370.73. And we had a couple big checks we wrote out in the month of August. We had a check from PAC to Discovery Charter School for the barn for $35,000. We also had $18,174 that we wrote out for Chromebooks. So when everything's all said and done, we should probably have about $30,000 or so in the account. And I haven't looked at the checking account. I'm sure things have cleared since then.
Yeah,
But I have not looked at the checking account in August, and that is not updated. I put a few things in there from August.
so our ledger is always online. If you go to the discoverycharterschool.org and the PAC tab, if you go down over PAC overview, the ledger is always on there for anyone to look at, just to say. Okay.
And we have do you want to do the budget now?
Sure, so then also on there, I just have the preliminary one, if anyone wants to follow along on that tab, but I did print out two just for us up here. Vicki's
Yeah, I
gonna
printed
propose the
out-
budget based on, it's hard, the last 2 years were weird because of COVID, but so we did our best to just do a preliminary budget here, if anybody wants to look.
Yeah, I printed out a couple if anybody wants
I have it
to.
already.
You have it on here.
Yeah, I have it on there.
Okay. If anybody wants a hard copy, I have copies
So
of it.
I don't think anything's wildly different than before. We figure conservatively, just to keep it safe. But so the idea is we present it at this meeting and then we vote it in at the next one. So if anyone has any questions about it, you can go on to the website. Like I said, it's right under, there's the PAC ledger, the PAC bylaws, and then the 2022-23 preliminary budget on there as well. Let's see. Okay, so that's presented. And the next, and then if you, unless we have any changes, we'll vote that on the next meeting.
Okay, and then we talked about the 5K in the water park. I think that's all I have.
Okay.
So I have a question. Normally at this time of year, don't we have a really low balance in our accounts for PAC? I mean, not the script account, I'm talking about the PAC account. Isn't it usually like almost nothing until we have some kind of?
Ideally, the past couple of years have been so weird. We didn't
Yeah.
spend very much last year or the year before.
Okay,
So we're just trying to make sure that it's all set up and then, I mean, the idea is to get that barn done once we,
Right.
dust settles.
heading into this year, okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I was remembering that correctly.
And we also hold, that includes
It was
money
like
that
a
we're
min-
holding for musical and things like that is all.
That's usually like 5 or 10,000
Yeah.
or something or less, right? I want to say, if I remember correctly.
Okay, here's your report. All right, and then Martha, with script, we haven't probably done too much yet, but we're gonna get the
Not
ball
really,
rolling,
we're
right?
gonna hopefully get a schedule for people to be actually in the lobby every morning. It's hard for me because I am now scheduled every morning in the classroom, so I cannot be the first in the lobby, so. I need to reach out to those who have volunteered, and then I think we still might need maybe one more person who, if they're interested in just coming in for it's about a half an hour in the morning. We have to have a background check, but it's just sitting in the lobby from 7:45 till about 8:05 when the pledge happens at about 8:06, and then just packing up and going. So it's about a half an hour all said and done. Just coming in and sitting in the lobby and being there for questions, or if anybody is interested in buying script gift cards, or excuse me, Raise Right gift cards to support the school. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe we'll get a set schedule with people that do it, and then we can say like, can anyone do Mondays or something like
Right.
that?
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something, Lisa?
I was gonna train Kelly the beginning of September. We were gonna do that first week because she's not done it.
Fabulous, great idea.
So yeah, if you're interested in coming in 1 or 2 days a week in the morning and doing that, that would be a fun way to get to know people and to
Teaching
just,
the kids, kind
yeah.
of walking in the morning.
it's nice to
kind of
say
fun.
hello and.
Yeah.
So reach out if you're interested in that. So we'll probably be starting to sit there at that desk starting September.
Right.
Otherwise, other than that, everybody get your app Raise Right.
That's
And you can do it all in there. Committee chair updates. We have Lisa, our volunteer coordinator over here. Do you want to give us any updates?
Yeah, volunteering is going really good. Nobody has come without a background check, so that's amazing. We've had some great Kendi volunteers that have stepped right up and jumped right in. We have a room liaison grade share meeting coming up next Monday morning. And then Monday morning, we're gonna have a welcome committee meeting. And that's really it.
Yeah, so if you want to know more about volunteering, reach out to Lisa or look on the website. It's all on there on the volunteer section of the back page.
It's really fun.
It is fun. And for uniforms, we have 2 new coordinators. Their names are Abby Sellers and Anna Young. We're gonna have a meeting with them, I think, next Tuesday morning to get them all up to date. And so when you reach out to the uniform coordinators, that is who you'll be reaching out to. And the Blights, I think you had a Blights update that he was just getting things in as soon as he can and
But faster than I thought, because he thought he'd have the delivery the beginning of this week, so.
so make sure to put in your orders before the end of this month if you want them for next month. And that includes the popcorn shirt. Do you know when that cut off? Does it say?
We were debating it. I think we were gonna try to push it till like the 25th.
All right, so a little bit more time for that one.
Of August, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like Thursday.
Yeah, maybe I'll make an announcement. Sustainability?
Yeah, hello. We've got a walk to school day on October 5th and details will come out. So read your emails and check for an announcement in the Hawks highlights. We usually walk to school early in the morning, and there's lots of trails around the school. Most of us are familiar, and if we're not, we can be. And then there's a walk from school at the end of the day too. I usually lead it. We do have some park rangers that may join us. And usually we'll end the walk from school at the visitor center and a ranger meets us. And sometimes they have giveaways if you bring garbage in. So a lot of times we'll collect garbage along the way. So any preliminary questions on those?
You said October 5th, is
Yeah.
that right?
And it's walk or bike to school, but I don't think those trails are bikeable. I mean, that's what the holiday is called. It's a national holiday.
I have seen that there's a student that is biking to school.
Oh, excellent. On the trails.
I don't know, no, I saw them coming up they made the turn to the staff lot and they went around the back of the
Well,
building.
that's excellent
So
regardless,
I'm not
but
sure who
that-
it is or where they were coming from, but
that's wonderful.
yeah.
To advertise there's a student.
It's fun, like we start a street over and kind of walk through the woods, so like the adults would park their cars and walk the students in and then you walk back to your car.
It's not a long walk.
I don't know, Andy, don't advertise it, stuff with me out.
Oh, advertise?
The bikes
biking.
you.
Oh, right,
Oh.
no, to get run over. Yeah, exactly. Don't follow the
I would
cars.
think biking would be great back there because there's so many routes.
Oh, no,
You
not
have
No,
to
she
be
means,
riding
Lisa
a
means
biker.
biking on the.
In general,
Oh,
yeah, no, I
There's
understand.
not really any great biking.
Horses, biking.
Horses.
Or, yeah, they take up their own space.
So,
And then you have a,
oh, and then I have an actual voting thing. One of the teachers suggested that we purchase something like this. This is a bathing suit wet bag, for when they go on hikes and they see garbage or when they're out for a snack. So they don't have to take plastic bags out or remember to take a bag out. These are cute. And they can have one in each class and they hook to a bag or whatever. And, you know, the littles will want to take turns being the ones to carry it outside. So, they're around 10, 15 each, for each class that hikes. If, you'd like to propose that we purchase those for the
I think
teachers.
that's a good idea.
Good idea.
Just, label them with the room name on it.
And they're washable, so they can pop them in with the rags that we already have a volunteer to wash. And I've washed and dried these in with my regular laundry, and they're,
Do they have solid colored ones or just design ones?
well, I'm sure they have solid
She
colored
does.
ones. This is just what I had to show that they were.
You don't want those.
I've also got one for I've got rainbow tie-dye too, of course. Could've brought that one.
No, if you don't mind looking into it
Oh,
and
yeah,
finding the
For
right
sure,
one.
I'm sure we can get them in
Yeah.
bulk, but then I paid full price, no less than 15.
It'd be cool if we could
no
get like
more
the
than
Discovery, like something on there, but we
Oh,
can always put a
sure.
patch on it.
15. There is the patches. So,
For like summer clearance stuff.
mhm.
I've seen them at Meyer before.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, they're probably $1.99 right now on the shelf,
All right.
so.
Yeah, if you're up for finding them,
Oh
I
yeah,
think that we should get them.
excellent.
So, anyone opposed to that? Okay, good idea, Andy.
It was a teacher's idea,
Good idea, teacher.
just so, I don't wanna take credit.
Then we'll just have to make sure we know how many, like who hikes. I think it's just the grade levels and, I don't know, some other people might go on hikes too, that aren't just,
Yeah, we can send a quick email or.
yeah, just anyone who wants one. Okay, so we are on to the popcorn parade. That, mark your calendars, that is in Valparaiso.
Hold on, we got Chris.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did skip it. Go ahead, Christy.
So, I got an update from Gilbert's, and they are going to be donating $150 for all of our
Nice.
candy purchases over Friday and Saturday, so thanks everyone that shopped there. We've got the one at Dairy Dip coming up, this Thursday, and then the Noodles and Company, it's actually this 21st.
Oh, I'm
of
sorry, I wrote the
September.
wrong date, I don't know why.
But I'll create an event after, the Dairy Dip one passes and share it on Facebook and inundate everybody with it.
So Dairy Dip's all day, and you just have to say
All
Discovery.
day, Tuesday Discovery, I think the owner will be there, kind of keeping track, and yeah, get lunch, get dinner, get.
So that's in Portage, right?
Yeah, some
That's what I was gonna ask, if they have a full menu of food, is
I mean,
it?
that's not very late.
I mean, yeah, but there's,
There is food.
Kinda
other
like
than
Dairy
ice
Queen.
cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like hot dog,
Yeah.
fries,
Yeah.
So we
things.
could
Yeah.
Probably.
eat a meal there, and
Yes.
then, okay.
That'd be very healthy.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
Just go, then you get the
Straight
dairy
ice
and the
cream.
calcium from the ice cream.
We'll just
so
go
it
balance
balances
the
out.
ice cream.
And then Christie's also does our popcorn And I have it on here, but our first popcorn day is gonna be the last Friday in November. September.
Yes, September.
And then, we announced it, but we're doing some new things with how we sponsor those, if you wanna sponsor, so be on the lookout for information on that.
I think there's a grade that's already sponsored in Carroll
That's awesome.
for the year. Well, for the first one.
Oh, I was like, wow.
I got a few
I don't know, I haven't
questions
checked
right
the thing in a
away.
while, maybe it's for the year.
Okay, yes, I was mentioning the popcorn parade. That's in Valparaiso. There's a list out there. I believe it's on Facebook, but I can put it on the actual website too, for people to sign up to walk. You just have to sign kind of a waiver type of thing, and I think we can have up to 100 participants, which I'm sure will be fine. You can purchase a shirt for that. There's a special shirt. You don't have to wear that, but it would be nice if you wore a Discovery shirt to the parade. More instructions will be coming out about where to meet if you do walk with us. But that's a fun morning, and it's hopefully we can get some candy donated as well to throw out. I believe we did that last year. Did we throw candy? I couldn't go last year because one of my kids was in COVID quarantine.
There was
We get candy donated,
We did.
so we'll try to get some more candy donated for that. We'll ask people to bring the bags of candy and drop them off into the lobby or to Mrs. Weller, and then we'll throw them out at the
we will pass it.
passive.
We don't.
No, we don't go. And then,
The
okay,
Garcias are.
oh, yes, you're gonna do pulling the trailer,
So
or,
thank you.
okay, yeah, that'll be fun, thank you very much.
How big is that trailer?
I'll have to text my husband.
Okay.
Joe's putting together the float, and you'll be needing, do you have a work day in mind at all, or?
Well, I wanted to see when we were gonna get it, and then how big it was, and then I was gonna schedule something.
I'll do that right now.
And then you can let me know, they let me know when you can get that popcorn, so I or somebody, once they say it's available, we can have people pick that up.
Okay.
It's like downtown, and you get it by a big garbage bag full, it's like within a week or so that it happens.
We need lots of garbage bags.
Yeah.
I think last year we had like 8 or 9.
Yeah, a couple trips, can't just go once. I think that's all that there is about the popcorn parade. Okay, I have the bonfire on here. This is something that we've done in the past, in the fall. Last year we attempted it, but it got rained out. So it's something, to be honest, I'm busy, and we have a lot of things going on. We've already had givebacks and Fall Fest and Water Park and a lot of things, in the popcorn parade. So if somebody else wanted to head up finding a date for bonfire and promoting it, amongst our board here, I'd be up for supporting you. But I'm just looking at dates as they are, and it's tight, so if this is something that you guys feel strongly about.
Well, do we wanna have it before or after Fall Fest?
After.
After.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can do, yeah.
Like when was it scheduled last
Last
time?
year's in November, wasn't it?
Last year was like the first weekend of November. After that, they
Oh,
stopped
goes that
doing them.
far?
I think that first weekend is the last, I have to check. Last year, they were gonna let us do that as a makeup date, but then it ended up not working out. But, we've got fall break in there, and then we've got Fall Fest, and then we've got Halloween. So it's kind of tight.
Is it something that makes sense, since has become like a 8th grade fundraiser, to see if the 8th grade.
If they wanted to do something with
They
it,
wanted to try to,
I could definitely let them
Spearhead
know.
that?
Yeah,
I mean, sounds like you guys are all really.
yeah, I think that we could ask them if they wanna do something like that.
Well,
Right, that's
I'll look
available.
into a date. If there's a date available, then we can have that discussion, but if there's no date, then there's no reason to get it.
Right.
involved. So let me see if there's even a date available.
Yeah, reach out to
after
them.
Fall Fest.
And this would be where?
It's in Valpo.
Is it Rogers Lakewood?
Yeah.
They rent it out. It's not very expensive. They do hay rides too.
Okay.
And it's not a moneymaker. It's just kind of something nice to do, but just coming off of the heels of begging people to do Fall Fest, it's a little bit hard to get people to come out again. It'd be hard to get me to come out. I'm sorry to say that. But so somebody, like I said,
No, I hear you.
and then we're gonna have pies right after that. Pies will be probably the first week of November that we're gonna be pushing all that, and pickup is usually right after that, around then,
I
so.
will say the one nice thing about it is it's not a fundraiser.
Right,
It's not a pressure
yeah.
event, we gotta do it, it's like, okay, it's a fun event.
Right.
To just.
kinda like the movie night we had the other
Right.
night for the
Just
school
to
board.
sit there and be together.
Right,
And it lets all of the community
Yeah.
have an intent opposed to not everybody has the same financial means as
Right.
others.
Yeah.
Right.
So if there's a date that works out, that'd be great if you want to look into that, Joe. Okay, so after that, we have Fall Fest, so that's just gonna be on there, we're gonna talk about that like crazy. Joe, do you have anything specific you wanna?
Yeah, I mean, I have a long list of things that I'm reaching out to people for, I'm following up on. Just from Facebook alone, it looks like we have tents covered. I was gonna ask you guys how many tents.
Those canopy things?
Yeah, I think between Facebook and what you guys have said in conversation, we probably have 9 of them.
Okay,
So, yeah, it's just little things like that. Reached out about hot dogs. Chrissy had some questions about popcorn. Yeah, it's just gonna be an ongoing thing of just kind of going through this list. One of the things that did pop up was sponsors, and how do we pull out sponsors? I think us as a board should at least go after 2 or 3 each. So once I update these forms and with all the Fall Fest materials, marketing materials, we can get those distributed.
okay.
So is there a previous list of sponsors that we can,
I'm sure there is.
Yeah,
okay, I like to talk to people, so if there's something that like a phone call, I gladly take their.
you're talking like businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a list from last year, and I know the year before that at least. Well, the year before that we didn't have it, but the year before that. But then, of course, families as well.
And then I reached out to Jenna Phelps about the t-shirt, like when the artwork's due for the event, because I wasn't sure if like the 2 new people, they would even know like who to ask,
Yeah.
whatever. So I'm waiting to hear back on that. That's always a big like deadline date.
Yeah, I think she was texting me a little bit about that, so
Okay.
I can see what she said. But that will be, we'll start putting those online soon, probably, for people to start buying.
Okay.
And then, do you need a chili and, pie coordinator?
Yes. So I haven't got that far.
Okay, no, I was just wondering, I was gonna make sure.
But yeah, I'll definitely reach out and see if people want to take on and lead some of these efforts. Once I have this list kind of available.
All right, so mark your calendar for that day.
Can you say what day it was?
Yes, it's the October 9, it's downtown Valparaiso.
1 to 4?
1 to 5.
1 to 5. So 1 to 5.
Mhm. We charged admission last year because we did concert style, and it was just a COVID thing, we weren't sure, but this year we'll be back to regular tickets and no admission. So we'll have vendors as well. They'll just probably give a percentage back to the school, so if you know of anybody that sells something, Scentsy or whatever it is, they can do that there.
Is the school selling anything, or is the PAC selling anything?
We usually have like a merch table where we sold extra t-shirts, like for people that didn't buy the t-shirts, and then last year we had those fleece blankets and koozies, and maybe we could sell the stickers and lanyards, that stuff.
And some of those bags.
Is there-
The bags.
We got lots of
the
bags.
Is there anything that we sell that people that don't go to Discovery might purchase? I'm just thinking it's like an opportunity,
We had-
like,
We
if
had
the weather's
people buy
nice.
a few years ago, there were people, the first year we were involved, but we had people come and buy
Yeah,
this
we'll have like, if the weather's nice, there'll be
Yeah.
like lots of foot
Yeah.
traffic, so I just didn't know if there was like,
Well, I mean, there's food, there's the hot dogs, chips, popcorn, that kind of stuff. But like, what were you thinking?
I literally just thought of it, so.
Maybe we could come up with some wet bags or something, like.
Well, if we've already got some that we're gonna do for the teachers, if I can find somebody to print, and
Yeah,
I mean,
We can do it.
I'm gonna look into the sticker people that do the bins, they do other printing, and I know Blake's probably is not doing wet bags, that's an unusual sort of thing. Or look locally, if somebody has an embroidery, business, that if you already own the item, they'll embroider it, of course, with the approval of whoever.
If you get the bags plain, there's a place in Whiting that will print like same day.
Or whatever.
Well, then, I There you go.
They do screen printing, so it's like super fast. But if you drop it off, she actually lives in Chesterton too, so she
Okay.
said you could always drop off to her, she'll take it and then bring it back.
I'll coordinate with her. My only concern is like it's the material's not,
It's like
it's not like a t-shirt, so you have to be a little, possibly a
Yeah, you can
special.
talk to her.
So
I'll send
that's
you her
excellent though,
information.
that would be easier. And then maybe we'd have wet bags.
Oh.
Everybody can use them for the beach and stuff, so.
Okay. Anything else on Fall Fest?
That's it for today. There'll be more to come.
Yeah.
For the trailer, we have 5x10 and 6x12,
5x10.
or 6x12.
Easier to drive. Well, you're driving, all right? Your
Are they
husband's
both the
driving.
Not me,
same
my
style? Are they both the same style, like with,
A hitch or whatever.
with a, like a ramp on the back, or how are they?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I sent you a picture before,
Yeah, 5x10.
like through Messenger.
Okay, I have on here for number 9, clubs and athletics and PAC. And that is because, so sometimes one of the areas where I get confused on what we pay for and what school pays for is this clubs and athletics area. Mrs. Roser came to us with some volleyball requests this summer and it was a lot. It was like over $1,000. So I just talked to administration about that a little bit, like where, who pays for what basically. And right away, he agreed to pay for all of that. So I think sometimes people don't know who to ask. So, and I had a meeting with them today, and we agreed just the nature of PAC is growing, and there's more things for us to do, and everything's growing, that we're gonna keep athletics and clubs separate from PAC entirely. So we will. So athletics, when somebody from an athletics department, like when Joe, you're a coach, when you need something, the order will be for you to go to administration first. And then if there's supplemental things, PAC can possibly help out there. Things like, you guys win a championship, we want to get a pizza party. Of course, PAC, that's PAC's role, I think, when it comes to like clubs and athletics.
Right.
Because we shouldn't be handling money that we don't need to handle and
Agreed.
things of that nature. So we'll have to look into our budget and to see, and right now, it looks to me that it's kind of a wash. But the only one that's sticky, or the stickiest one, is the musical, because that's its whole other operation. And so what we kind of agreed on is to this year, to really watch our line items for them, to help them and to do it with them this year with the idea that going forward, it's gonna be handed over to the musical department, to Mr. Mueller, who's the staff member that's in charge of that. So that's the idea for this year for musical. But the rest of it, we're not really doing. It used to be a line item on the agenda, I used to report a little bit, and I won't be doing that anymore unless there's something that they want me to help get the word out on. Does anyone have any questions with that?
So, so for sports, so when we take money at the door, it just goes back to admin? Like they have their own buckets and
Yeah,
they'll give us money?
And they
they'll
should be
cut
doing
checks
that anyway,
for-
like we didn't really handle money at the door anyway, but sometimes we get you change, sometimes we get you refs, sometimes, you know what I mean? So all of that is gonna be going through administration now.
But the money always went to PAC's account
Right.
from the door.
So we're gonna be
And there
separating
should
that
be
now.
athletic money in the PAC account.
There is, but it's also money goes out every time too, and so in our ledger right now, pull up the ledger.
So I'm just thinking of like the timing of things, like when we need to pay refs at the game.
They were doing that already this year. We stopped that at one point this year, so, I mean, that needs to come from like the school account and not PAC's account now.
Okay. So for like cross-country, like the medals and the trophies, that's all gonna come from the school?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they agreed to, and that is fine with me.
I think it makes more sense.
It does, because
It does.
and also
There's
the
a
clubs are
clear
different. It's like,
vision.
there'd be like art club, which asks me for nothing, and then other clubs asks for lots. And so it's a little bit, it was hard for us to be fair. So I think it's an easier way for the school to handle it.
So what were you looking at? What did you want to look at?
I was looking at ledger, just at the money we have in athletics now. from last year. I have to look at the last year one because it's,
Yeah, because this year is not, it's a little.
but well, we'll get that sorted out with them. It's not a lot of money, I know that, because we just went through this the other day, didn't we? We talked
Right.
about it,
Well, and I
but
think
it's not
last
much.
year's sports schedules were a little abbreviated too, so they might not be a very good indicator too.
Right,
so.
exactly.
It's
And then
2100.
the year before that, it was,
Right.
so the records are a little wonky with the.
Okay, the athletics is 2100, that's
Yeah.
like everything. There's like $500.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not huge.
And we, like, a lot of times they would take in money, but then we buy them stuff, like archery, we bought some stuff last year.
Yeah, so I know, like, archery was its own separate thing. So archery was separate. Athletics is all together, so I don't know what sport's in there. You know what I mean? So I would have to like, really look at that.
It would be volleyball,
And
how we set it up with volleyball, basketball, cross country.
Yeah, yeah, it's all together. I would have to go through it and like look and see what sport has what.
Is cross-country different than run club?
No, it's the same.
And we never separated it, Vicki, it was all the same, so then that way,
Just
some years
athletics.
basketball needed more stuff, some years volleyball needed more stuff, so it was all
Okay.
just one.
It was always together, so I shouldn't separate it for this. I would not have anything for this year.
Yeah, I don't think we have much inside out.
Okay.
All right,
So are we gonna keep clubs and athletics in our reporting here during PAC? just
not,
for
I don't
kids, or-
think so, I mean, unless for some reason I would need to report it, I mean, I don't think so.
No, that's what I was wondering if it would make sense to keep reporting.
Right, no, I think I'll take that off of the agenda.
Unless there's a special request.
Yeah, right,
Volunteers or something.
sure. And sometimes they just need a little help, and I don't mind helping promote something, you know, either.
Right.
Okay, so for number 10, the reimbursement policy, so this is something that came up. So when a teacher asks for something, let's just say they need a new bookshelf, and we grant them that, then the question is, if the teacher leaves the school, does the teacher get to keep the bookshelf, or does the bookshelf remain in the classroom? Okay, there's varying thoughts. But I think what we need to do is just get a bottom line down and have that put right on the reimbursement request, what we decide. Does anyone have an opinion on that?
I mean, if we look at it from like a business standpoint, yeah, if the money's coming from the organization, then the organization owns that equipment.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, is it's for the students, not so much the teacher. So it's kind of for the students of the classroom to come as well.
Well, like a hard,
You probably
like a
want,
hard item, like a shelf, like a cabinet, yeah, it's.
Right.
I would think you
No.
know.
You would think, but
Maybe
it
like
has-
monetary, like if it's more than, I don't know, $100.
It's like, okay, so
Because
we
they're
had
gonna
everybody
be
get
like-
pencil
yeah,
sharpener
exactly.
last year. I kind of expected that pencil sharpener to be the pencil sharpener for the classroom, but I guess we need to clarify if that teacher then moves to a new school, can they take the pencil sharpener with them?
I do not think so.
I think no as well.
I mean, if
But who's
Yeah,
gonna
we're paying
enforce
for it.
it?
we're
And
paying
it's-
them back for it.
I mean,
They're asking
are
you
you
to
expecting
reimburse.
Ernesto to walk around and like?
No, but just in good faith, I guess. I mean, they could take anything they wanted if they, you know, and.
Would that, well, would that reimbursement then go to anybody you reimburse? I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Can I go out there and take all the mulch? I'm not trying to be a jerk, but like, you reimbursed me for it
Right.
already, so it's not mine now.
No,
I know it's different, but not.
Right.
but that's the same. You're saying
Right.
that it should stay with the school.
I do think
Yeah.
it should stay with the school.
The only
yes.
thing that I will throw out there as the husband of a teacher is that they aren't paid a whole lot. And they do spend their own money on things that they don't get reimbursed for, like, you know. And I don't know that they should necessarily keep it, but also I know that like, they do spend their own money on items that end up being used at the school. And
I totally see that. I think that teachers, and I know, have some like, if they want something and they want to tell like, hey, I want this new rug, and they start their own campaign for it, and their parents paid, one parent paid for it for them, and it was nothing to do with that, that's theirs, in my opinion. You know what I mean? If they start their own campaign, and they got some
That
sort of
hasn't been-
donation on their own.
that hasn't been the policy in the past.
If they got a donation from a
Yes.
parent,
Yes.
I feel like that has nothing to do with PAC though.
Right, it doesn't, but I'm just saying like, that's not necessarily the school policy. The only other thing I would say is like, I think it'd be advantageous if we heard from teachers and how they feel. Like, I just wouldn't wanna be like, hey, if we buy something for you, like, we're keeping it, and then them have some negative feeling about that without at least talking to them first to
Right.
get their point of view.
And then Joe brought up like hard items, so what would be the other things that we would pay for that are reimbursables, that wouldn't be a hard item?
Like Kleenex, right? It's disposable, it's like
Disposable
something you
items.
have and then it's gone.
Yeah, or food things, we buy a lot, you know, that of course. But I just think like classroom supplies type of thing is what we're talking about. So I just think maybe it is a dollar amount, maybe it's over $100 must remain in the classroom or something like that. But I could ask teachers, I think teachers probably all gonna say, we want it, I mean. But,
But then you have to think of the new teacher coming in, like what would their opinion be if you were the new teacher coming into a classroom that previously
right,
had
it's
a
like, oh,
pencil
there was a
sharpener.
table in here, now there's
Yeah.
not.
Well, some teachers have a lot of stuff too, right?
Right.
Like, I know like, when, you know, if teachers don't need it, they'll just leave all their stuff in the classroom, and then the incoming teacher just inherits all of that.
Yeah.
In the same way that like, if a teacher comes in that taught at another school, they might have a bunch of stuff to bring into their classroom, you know,
Right.
so it's just.
Yeah, they have their own personal things. But I just think that things that, we just have to clarify it.
Well, and also if the teachers aren't allowed to keep a donation from a parent, perhaps find out.
Well, I don't know that that's true, I feel like that's
That's
not
really
true.
tricky because like, I know the teachers like have their own personal libraries, like
Oh,
all the
yeah.
books in their classrooms, those are books that they have purchased, but then we have book fair where we're having parents donate books to their library, so that gets really sticky, you have to really like think about all the implications that it would really.
A parental donation, I feel, should be
So,
Oh, for sure.
for sure, but if
Yeah.
we are writing a check, I mean, I don't know legally, but I mean, we could ask, like, if we're paying for it, then like, money changes hands legally, then property, I love teachers, I wanna give them way more, that's not the point.
Yeah.
I've been sued before, so I'm very much a bottom line person, like, is that legal? So, that's all, but I'm all for, like, if every teacher gets a certain amount to keep, for sure, I'm not trying to take things from teachers, just to be clear.
Right, well, my only thing is it's a teacher requesting it, right? It's the teacher that needs it for whatever she's doing. Any teacher could really request
Or
anything,
he.
right? But they don't.
Or you, yes, thank you, they,
Or he,
he or she,
They
or they.
request anything they would like. But how often is it that there's big purchases that we are talking about, right?
It's probably not, but it did come up this summer, so it's like, and there was no answer.
so for example, would be like the refrigerator, right? Like we bought the refrigerator for,
Well, for the middle school,
right,
this was for more than one person really, but.
okay, so no one's.
Kitty said,
But
no,
yeah,
it's mine.
there's no
I get the door.
documentation stating that like, are you saying there's no documentation stating that like you can't just walk away with this?
I guess not.
Okay.
So maybe on the reimbursement form, there needs to be some sort of a,
Maybe it's part of the reimbursement form.
yeah,
Maybe
that's what
when
I'm
you
saying.
file it out, it's like, are you asking to be reimbursed to us? or
That's
to you?
true.
You know,
You
and
can
then-
do a check, this
and
is
then-
a personal or
yeah,
a check,
and
this
then
stays
PAC
in the
can make a
classroom.
decision on a case-by-case basis, or we can come back and be like, we'll buy this for you, but it stays in the classroom.
I like that idea, you can do a little check mark, this is to remain in the class, or this is to be when I, yeah.
I
And
think
then I
that's
can
a good idea.
evaluate it that way.
Rather than putting a dollar amount on it.
And then the teacher definitely knows when they ask for the reimbursement, right?
That
Because
they're
it's on the
asking
form.
for, that's true, and
So,
then we
like,
can
if they-
always, then we have a copy of that they, yeah, okay, I like it. So I'll take a look at the reimbursement form and see if, we can add something in like that, and change them, and I'll announce it to the teachers. Does that sound like a good idea?
oh yeah.
That's a good idea.
Then we can argue about it case by case. All right, so then, reimbursement, so then, okay, bylaw revision. So we had, talked about this a little bit at last year and things faded away, but the main thing that I just wanted to get in there was, COVID things, protocols for if we have to go virtual. So there was a bylaw committee, which my husband was on, and they looked at a few things. And like I said, it kind of fell apart, but over the summer, he did go over it, and he's a lawyer, so he cleaned up a lot of the language that he thought was extraneous and put in things he thought sounded better and just organized it a little bit better. This is redlined, so you can see, I'll pass this to the board. The changes that he made are the red, right? So if they're crossed out, it's because they took them out of it. If they're underlined, we added it. So we can look at these over the month, and then vote them in if we want to next time. But, so the main changes are, you did add a thing for virtual.
I think that the number comes
What's
out
that?
for the bylaws.
We'll vote, yeah, 5 members have to vote, right?
There has to be at least 5 members,
Right.
but it's the membership, yeah,
Right.
that's not the board.
So, but for now, I just want you guys to look at these and see if there's any questions or anything that you think, and then we can present it, not redline. Let's see, what were the other little things that he said? There's some things that just didn't apply to us anymore. There's a big section about duties. I think that was kind of a holdover. He was on the committee before when they revised it in 2018, and he said that it was like just something that was on the lake station or the field station, and we're never gonna have dues. If we ever decide to do dues, we can write them into them at that point, you know, so just like kind of cleaning up some language. Let's see, what else was there that was a big thing? And then we also addressed vacancies, because if people leave midterm, that needed to be a little bit more spelled out. So that's in here, that we can elect somebody if, we can appoint if there's like a short term, I don't know. And the other things were just cleaned up things, I think. So let me know what you think if you have questions on these. And I can email these to you too. That was just me.
Okay.
And then read over the bylaws, and then we'll do it, we'll vote it in the way it's supposed to be voted in, if you agree. Okay.
Oh, I had one thing for the reimbursement policy.
Yeah.
When people turn in their reimbursement forms, do we want to have it only paper copy, or do we want to have it like scanned and emailed? In case something gets, lost or misplaced.
Keep them for the year. I always keep them we keep them in a file for the year usually. But if you want, if you want to scan it and throw it away, keep it in a Google folder.
Okay,
You can start doing it that way.
okay. No, I mean, when people, fill out their own reimbursement forms.
Just a paper, you're saying start an electronic one?
Yeah, do you want to do that? I know
Um,
we did have issues with, misplacing receipts and stuff like that.
we could try to
I mean,
add
it doesn't
that,
happen often, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's,
like an electronic version of it.
yeah.
I'll see how hard it is. Maybe you guys could figure that out, but.
I mean, when somebody fills out their form, they can just take a picture of it and email it to us, or, scan it.
Yeah, they can do that anyway, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you want to make that like a policy,
Oh.
so,
Gotcha.
people don't, it doesn't get misplaced and, some of that.
Okay.
Right. I know that doesn't happen often, I know we have a pretty good system, but I mean, it doesn't happen. So I don't know if you want to do that.
Well, that reminds me, I think I'll put a reimbursement form into each person's mailbox also, just to get the ball rolling for them to know that they can do that. So I'll do that as well.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have any recognition? I'd like to say thank you to all the PAC board members for coming to the meeting on Friday and chipping in all summer, out with their work days and everything. It's been really nice. So thank you guys.
I think the basketball court in the front of
Yes.
the landscape.
Looks so good.
Oh, yeah, it
Very
does.
good, agreed.
We need a drone shot. Someone's gotta fly from above, get a good picture.
There's somebody here.
Somebody have one?
No.
Well, the website,
It's
No.
an old family.
Somebody's gotta have one, they could fly it
We'll
above.
find someone with that.
That'd be cool.
Some middle schooler has one.
You know it. It's like they'll get in trouble at recess. What? They told me to. All right, so then, any public comment? We have our next meeting set for 9/19, is that right? On
Yes.
Monday, same time as this one?
Yep.
And then I think I also threw out to see if you guys could do October 24 as well? Is that what I said? Or was it October 17? It's October 17.
October 17th.
that the week of?
It is the week of fall break. You're gonna be gone that Monday?
Might be, we
We
haven't.
might
I had a feeling people might be gone for that.
Is that fall break? I gotta get,
Well, fall break is 2021,
We sometimes leave a little early.
but if, no, I gotcha. Would the 24th work?
That's a normal school
That's
day.
a regular school day.
So far.
I
Yeah,
think
I know.
so, I gotta look at,
Well, we already have a drone volunteer, someone's watching us.
Wow.
Nice.
wow.
Cool. All right.
I'll put it down for the 24th, I think I'm okay.
Okay, well,
I
let's
don't know, I
pencil
gotta
that
get
one
the
in.
kids- I gotta get the kids' schedules on here, like I have.
For, well, are Mondays, I mean, is there a day of the week that's better for you guys? Oh, Tuesday's out for you, Michael.
Actually, after, this week, I can do Tuesdays again, if
Tuesdays would work better for me, because I know especially now during cross country, we're gonna do practice Monday, Wednesday.
So would Tuesday, the 25th be okay?
yeah, that's,
For October?
Yeah,
I
We could do,
think so.
we could do some at like 5 or 5:30, that would help as well.
I can do that.
Tuesday the 25th, is that what you said? And then what time?
Tuesday, the 25th, do you wanna make it 5?
Yeah.
We can do 5.
Is that okay with you,
I think
everybody?
so. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, that should work.
so what about for the next one? Do we wanna keep that at 4? For the 19th
Do we wanna keep it on Monday, or do we wanna change that on the Thursday as well,
or
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
or Tuesday?
What day on this, on September?
It's the same day as the PAC meeting,
It's the same day as the what?
field station.
Ah,
Do they, there's like the third Tuesday, is it set?
Tuesday or.
Do you guys wanna do fourth Tuesday?
that's fine.
The 20th,
Wait,
September 1, 2, 3, 4,
25?
27.
27th?
Tuesday,
If
that's
you
the
wanna just-
25th, isn't it?
yeah, of
Oh, yeah,
October,
you
we're
look
talking
at
about
it.
September.
Oh, I was talking about September, if we're gonna do all of them, if we're.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, no,
I
no.
heard somebody say, do we wanna just go to Tuesday for all of them? Somebody said that, right?
I think I did.
Okay,
I think that would be,
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
that's
just hearing my
fine.
stuff up.
So we're looking at possibly changing the 19th to the 20th in September? Is that what we were saying?
To the 27th, because there was the third Tuesday,
Oh, God.
this lady whose name I've already forgotten, I
Gabrielle.
apologize. Thank you, Gabrielle. The field stations will have a lot of conflict. We have a lot of families. If we did the
so
third.
they do their meeting on
Well,
the 3rd.
I mean, I don't know if I can base my schedule off of a preschool. so-
No, I'm just saying, I mean.
I got you, but let's see, so we're looking at September 20, you're saying, or
No, 27th.
27th.
September 27th would be the fourth Tuesday.
I cannot do
since-
that.
Oh,
I'm taking my dad to the airport that
So do
day.
the 20th.
So let's do the 20th. At 5?
Let's do 5,
Okay,
because I got, Eric's got more done.
gotcha, so 5 will work, I'm gonna move this one then. Okay.
September 20th at 5.
Right, and then we've got, the next one is October 25th. No, yeah, October 25th,
at
also
5.
at 5. Not the 24th, not Monday, we're doing that on the Tuesday, right? Okay. All right. Well then, I think that is good for now, we can deal with November next month. If that's okay with you guys, unless you wanna deal with it now.
Let's wait and see.
It's hard to know what's going on in life, right? Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, and that will adjourn the meeting at 4:59.
Okay. I gotta run out of here, because I gotta pick Eric up at cross country, so, sorry. Michael, do you want me to just take a picture and email
This was a
you?
good thing.
Yes, that'd be great.
Stuff?
Yeah,
Just,
no, that was
just take a
another
picture of
thing.
each.
So
Okay.
Annie and Vicki, I printed these out, I kind of rough made this when I was talking to Edmund today about all we do, because I knew our vice principal might not know everything that PAC does, and so I made this for them. So this is also just a reminder for you guys
Yeah.
too, of like just monthly, all the things that we do.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you guys. Vicki, I have tons of receipts for you.
Okay.
See you.
And,
Have a good.
also, the water park invoice.
I know.
Sorry.
Yours will come up.
Eric.
Oh.
I will be,
Oh.
I just have to figure out. out. I was
Can you pay this to be
I
heard?
thought they still have
Yes.
space.
Okay, so pay that. These are just receipts for things that are on the these are just bank deposit slips.
Okay.
And then I
Which I
saw one
told
that
you all
said
about,
next
but I
week,
wrote on there anything.
and went to the end of
They weren't.
September.
I'm sure that's probably
They were
all on there already.
Yeah, all of those are.
One that was the
The only thing, I have to go to the bank right now, I have a $1,000 check
It must
from,
be the 9 days.
somebody who donated the 5.
Maybe that's what it was.
Oh, that matching one?
So that's it.
Cool, that finally came.
Monday,
Yes, what is this for?
This is for a Dow canvas.
Oh my God.
Aaron gave to me, a soccer.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would like to, I am.
For a Dow, what?
Hey, so what are
So
the
we got a down
process
next
for
year.
these-
Alright,
for
so
these
if
bylaws?
you.
I think
Is
we
it
are
in
going
here?
to, because
So we
Everly
look
has
at
LA,
it
I
and-
sent her definitely up for the lake,
On
that's
Monday.
at 5.
So-
well,
Oh, so it changed.
Sorry, I gotta
Process
go.
for voting on them, you have to have 5 people in here.
But I think Abraham has to do the 35.
I don't have this, so.
On Monday, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I will email you, Michael, and I will pay the water park.
Thank you.
I will.
Oh, and then also, can I
We do
check for
everything.
Jenny?
I know, I
Check
know.
for Christie?
Popcorn
Yes,
Friday.
Do you wanna just take the blank check?
Yeah,
Speaking of
take-
popcorn,
give me
you
two.
know about popcorn
Christie,
machines?
yeah, the popcorn machine is, the closet off the gym. And if I could get Joe or Michael to haul that popcorn bag and oil into the popcorn where it is, Dylan put it in there, I don't,
Oh,
her movie.
One for Dylan, one for Christie.
Okay, thank you.
And just, you
I
know,
gotta pay you back. for the
yes, I have my,
sorry about that.
Chrissy, you won't own that popcorn anymore.
I don't want it.
Just take pictures of everything.
I will, is there like a
Where
form
was
that
it
I'm
in
supposed to
here?
fill
Are we
out?
up there?
Instead of just giving you
There-
a receipt?
No.
I think that there's did you fill out a reimbursement form?
No, I never.
Yeah, that's what we supposed to.
That is.
I thought it was-
Oh, I know, well, Joel.
I never filled the form out.